watching Chittarupa Yoga and Fitness. I'm Laura Wilson, and today we're going to work our abs and stretch out a little bit right here on the floor. So all you need is a mat, and we're going to take support under one knee, tuck, and roll ourselves down. Once we're here, let's place hands by our sides, walk our feet back till we find our ankles. And we're just going to begin with some work and warm up. Inhaling, hips up to the ceiling, exhaling, back down. So moving with our own breath, we should be able to do that for all the moves today. Think about lifting each vertebra one at a time, lowering them back down one at a time. On this next inhale, let's lift and hold. We're going to take it to pelvic tilts in the air. So drop the hips down, tilt them up. Drop and tilt. Trying to focus more up in the belly area and not so much in the glutes. But of course we are getting some glutes. Let's take it to 3 more roll downs and ups. Exhale down, inhale up, 2, 3, one more time up. And now we're going to take our arms wide, walk our feet away from each other till we feel the edges of the mat. And then we're going to windshield wiper our knees side to side. Warming up, working through our obliques. And just breathing naturally at this point. We're going to move next to a side stretch to finish warming up through our obliques and our core. So let's bring our hands down by our side in Shavasana. And what we're going to do is glue our hips to the floor, walk our feet as far over to one side as we can with both hips staying on the floor. And then we're going to use our elbows and shoulders to move our upper body over to that side as well. Like we're making a letter C with our body. Let's take this arm up. So we've got both hips on the floor, both shoulders on the floor. We can take this arm up to get a full side body stretch. Breathing into that side. Noticing how our body is feeling today. Let's go ahead and work our way back to the center. And we're going to reach overhead, pushing the walls away with our hands and feet. And then we'll bring hands back by our side. Let's do this the same way. Other side, walk the feet over as far as I can. Both hips still down. Walking the upper body, both shoulders still down. Reaching this arm up and allowing it to rest. So really feeling the breath in that open side of our body. Reaching out through our hand. Even reaching through our foot to get a deep side body stretch. Now let's bring this back to the center again. Reaching overhead, stretching everything out. And then we're going to hug it all in. So if it feels good, we can rock side to side here. Now let's go ahead and bring our knees down. We're going to let our knees open up, bringing the soles of our feet together. And for now, let's leave our head on the floor, pushing our feet into each other. Let's see if we can lift our feet and let them hover just a little bit over the floor. Breathing as best we can. This is kind of like a boat pose. Let's release down from there. Interlacing our hands under our head. And we're going to go ahead and lift our head and shoulders up and take this just to regular crunches. Feel that pelvic tilt action. Allowing our head to rest in our hands, elbows open wide. We'll keep our gaze to the ceiling. Pressing the navel into the floor over and over. And we're going to lift and hold, maybe squeezing the feet together again, lifting them off the floor as well. And let's release back down from here, hands by our side. We're gonna find and hold our bridge pose. So find your feet with your fingertips, and let's inhale, up and hold. So really feeling our weight up toward our shoulders here, kind of like a shoulder stand. Breathing deeply into our belly, feeling our rib cage expand. And let's release from here, taking our legs up to the air. So just working at our feet for a moment here. We're going to begin by stretching out our hips, taking one over the other in a figure four. Let's reach straight out for our hips or thighs, drawing our knees in toward our body. We want to keep both feet relaxed, particularly the one of the bent leg. We want to keep this knee in closer than the foot to feel that stretching right down through our hip. We should be able to breathe deeply here. We can also begin to flex our foot, spreading our toes, and then wiggling. Flex again. See if we can hug the legs in a little closer. So we're going to add a little bit of core work to our stretch here. We're going to interlace our hands, extending our index fingers. And let's lift up, head and shoulders, press the navel into the floor. We'll reach for our toes first. And then we're going to reach out past that long leg. And let's release back to the center. See if we can go out past the knee. And let's release down here. One more hug, 2 deep breaths. And this time we're going to take both feet up to the ceiling, flex, and use our hands to help open up here. We can also take the hands around to help open up a little more. So let's really reach out through both heels. Now we're going to press navel into the floor. Let's lift up and reach our hands toward the wall. Little crunches. Little taps of the wall. And let's release down. And we'll bring our feet back together. And we're going to cross the other leg in our figure four now. Keeping the foot relaxed. Hugging the legs in, knee in closer than the foot. Breathing deeply. Seeing how much we can open through that hip. And then we're going to flex the foot, spread the toes. And then wiggle, release. Flex and spread. Release. And again, hugging in close. Let's add that core work. Lifting up toward the toes first. So we're breathing as best we can. Let's release. Reach out past the foot. Let's bring it down, reach up past the knee. And we'll bring it back down. Another quick hug for 2 breaths. We'll take both feet up. One more time. Let's open out wide. Focusing on just the stretch this time so we can actually bend and straighten our legs. We are going to open it back up through our chest here in just a moment. Let's release our legs down to the floor. Hands by our side, and we're going to rock side to side, walking our arms up underneath us until our thumbs and index fingers touch. So just feeling the pressure points in our glutes here being massaged a little bit by our forearms. And a lot of us can stay right here. We're getting a little bit of opening across the front of the hips. But if we want to extend the opening up to our chest, We can take this to our fish pose, lifting our head and shoulders, bringing the crown of our head back to the floor. This will not be for everybody because of that sensation of being on your head and the great opening of the chest. But for those of you who can find it, it is an incredible opener. When we're ready to come out, we're going to lift it up the chin, roll down, and let's just shake everything out. Just kind of move naturally for a moment. We're going to look at stretching out the front of our hip now. I'm going to roll over this way so that you can see some of the options on this first leg. So arm up, let's roll over onto our side. And we're going to take the top leg. So first option is to reach down, grab the foot, drawing it into our bottom, pressing the knee back. However, if that isn't accessible, we're going to bend the leg as far as possible and then just press it back as far as we can. We're still going to get an opening across the front of the hip and our thigh. So just kind of find whichever variation works best today. As we breathe into our belly, that's going to open up these oblique muscles along the front here as well. Now let's go ahead and stack both legs. We're going to bring the bottom elbow up underneath our shoulder. So we're getting a side opening here. Draw the shoulder down and the head up. We can use our top hand for balance if we need it. Just feeling the side of our body opening up. So while we're here, we can also bend the knees, line them up with our hips, hug in the navel, and lift up into a side plank. Let's go ahead and lower down, kind of pulling ourselves forward and up. And we're going to lower down, rolling back onto our back, taking a couple of breaths here. And when we're ready, we'll move on to the other side. So starting the same way, we're going to take that top foot up toward our bottom, grab it and draw it in, or allow that foot to bend as much as the knee to bend as much as possible, pressing that foot back. So feeling that opening across the front of our hip as we breathe. We should be feeling it up here in our obliques as well. Breathing deeply. And let's go ahead and stack that leg on top of the other. Bring the bottom elbow up underneath. And again, drawing down and up. Feeling that side body open up. And then exploring our side plank. If we're feeling that today, I might have to roll this up a little bit. Lifting up. Breathing as best we can. And let's release down, drawing ourselves forward and up. Feeling that side opening in our body. And let's go ahead and release down, back onto our back. And we'll take both feet up in the air. Let's go ahead and draw one foot, leg in toward our body. We're going to reach the other one out and away. Option to lift our nose toward our knee. And we're going to switch this. And we're just going to start to inhale, switch, exhale, switch. Let's come back to that first leg, release the head back down, flex the foot, see if we can draw it in closer. Let's switch, taking it to the other side. Now let's bring both feet up. We're going to give ourselves a big hug. We're going to kind of work our core and stretch our back at the same time. Let's lift up. We're going to start to bring opposite shoulder across as the legs scissor in. Let's come back to center. Switch the top arm. Really lift and roll the shoulder blades forward. And again, twisting opposite shoulder across. Coming back to the center. Let's bring both feet in and see how far we can stretch here. We can even reach up, holding on to a different part of our body. And let's release from here, opening our arms wide. We're going to hug our knees in for just an easy twist over to one side. Really pushing the opposite hand into the wall, palms up if that's accessible. Breathing deeply here. Hopefully we're feeling a stretch across that one side of our shoulder, as well as some twisting in our obliques. Let's come back up to the center. Take a little rock here, and then we're going to lower to the other side. Same thing, all the way down. Get both shoulders down, reaching for the wall. We're going to take one more bridge pose here in just a moment to really open up, open our shoulders a little bit as well. Breathing. Let's come back to the center. Again, one more bridge, where we're going to see about rolling our shoulders under this time, palms up. 3 deep breaths. We can follow this up with some deep relaxation, Shavasana. One more. Let's hug it in. You can end right here if you want, or roll over and come up. I appreciate you joining me today. I would also appreciate you clicking on the link below here for Patreon and giving that a look. There are much longer, more detailed, and nicer videos there for a small monthly fee. And I would really appreciate your support, helping me to continue to offer the free content that I do here on YouTube. I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.